Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, Governor Okpebholo delivers renovated primary schools in Edo State. NDLEA arrests Ebonyi-born billionaire drug baron after 17-year hunt. And later on the show, Rivers Assembly gives Governor Fubara 48-hour notice to present 2025 budget as Ijo Group warns against his impeachment. I'll be hanging out with Babajide Kolade Utitoju and Majid Jamiu. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. When leaders work, communities develop. As part of his desire to make an immediate impact, the governor of Edo State, Monday Okpebholo, has begun reconstruction and renovation of 100 schools across the state to mark his 100 days in office. Some state government officials embarked on a tour of some of the primary and junior secondary schools renovated. The governor included fencing of the schools and furnishing. Many of the schools lacked furniture, while some were overcrowded before the intervention. Now let's share some videos of the renovated schools with you.
This is Eweka Primary School, Egbidi. There is not enough chairs, there's no window, no doors. Whenever it rains, the children will run to a nearby house because the roof is not good.
We will fix this school so that every Edo child can have access to quality education.
Precisely 14 days ago, we started this project that you are seeing right here.
We are quite impressed with the work done so far. In the coming days, the children, the community will be happy.
I want to thank the state governor. He matched his word with action, and so I'm very, very happy. The staff are also happy. The children, we are all happy.
Every Edo child will confidently and boldly say they have a father.
Everybody's comfortable and everybody's happy. I am proud of being a pupil of Eweka Primary School.
All right, BK, the Edo State governor is giving so much attention to the renovation of schools in Edo State. I still remember that interview, you know, the one-on-one you had with the governor. But why is he putting so much attention to the renovation of schools in the state?
Because the schools were in such a bad state. You saw a few of those pictures. As he said during the interview, he said when students look up, they see the sky. Because a lot of those schools did not really have roofs. You know, the roofs had been blown off and they were just left like that. Beyond that, 4 arms are merged together in some schools. You see primary 5 and 6 in the same class. Wow. You know? So we can't have such a situation. Primary 3 and 4 merged. And in some cases, as he said to me, there were just 3 teachers, 3.5 teachers in some schools because even the head teacher was also functioning as a teacher. You know, so you can't have such a situation without doing your best to correct it. If you are driving through, as a true leader, you are driving through a community and you saw schools in a decrepit state, you must tell yourself that it makes sense to fix those schools. In many of the videos that I saw, the students were actually being taught while sat on the floor. No furniture. But as we have seen now, with the work that he has done in 100 days, yes. We saw a lot of those videos in my interview with him. Students were sitting on the floor. Some were sitting on stones, big stones. Because
and there was a government before this current government.
Yes,
there
and
was a government.
You hear that a lot is being done, so much money set aside for education. It's such a shame. I'm not saying, and in many states, this is the situation. No. I still remember Sule Lamido, former governor of Jigawa State. He went to his former school, the secondary school that he attended, and he burst into tears because he saw students sitting on the window. No chair, so they just, like these ones now, you can see the windows, you know, the windows had no louvers, nothing. So they were just sitting on the window. Others sat on the floor. And you cannot have a situation in which up to 100 students are in one class or pupils in one class. The teacher won't be able to give them adequate attention. There shouldn't be more than 50 people in a class, so that when the teacher will be 30, yes,
ideally
for pupils,
so that the teacher can give adequate attention. I know that in public schools it will be difficult to achieve that, given the influx, you know, but we have a situation in which up to 100 in one class. So how would the teacher be able to give them adequate attention? That's why performance is terrible in some of those schools.
True.
Look at some of those schools. See, nice. Look at this. You know, look at the windows now. No window panes anymore, no louvers, nothing. So the man came and felt that, look, I had to do something. I've said something before here, that what I've seen of this man in 100 days suggests to me that I will be a good governor. And I'm saying this with a high sense of responsibility, because I know that whatever I say, people hold on to it. They will want to come back in 3 years, 2 years. Look at how beautiful the building that replaced that one is. Look at the chairs.
In just 100 days.
In just 100 days. It reminds me of Governor Zulum, because I remember Zulum's 100 days. I attended it. He challenged me to come and see what he had done, and I saw model schools.
Yeah. You would think
mega schools. They were already.
You would think they are universities.
Yes.
Completed.
Yes, some of them were even more beautiful than the Senate buildings of some universities. He completed them in 100 days during his first term. And when he got re-elected for his second term, in 100 days, he delivered a lot of primary health centers. Yeah. And I was there when the vice president inaugurated, and he was asking, are you saying you did this in 100 days? You know, he just asked.
So when there's a will, there's the political
completely
will.
furnished. Yes, you have to.
The political,
if you are determined, you tell yourself that in 100 days,
I will do
what Zulum does in 100 days. Some governors don't do it in years.
In 4 years.
They don't do it in years. Zulum is the first governor to win the Zig Prize during his first term. That record is there. We talk about facts.
True.
So if we are saying this is how good you are, we back it with facts. You can challenge us.
Okay.
So this is the thing. This man in Edo State has set the right example. I can see where he's going. If you can do this in 100 days, because 100 days is not a long time.
Exactly.
It shows, they say the morning shows
how the day is going to be like. True.
So we have seen good signs that, okay, this will be a good governor if he does not derail. If he does not allow hangers on around him to distract him.
True.
Because this is the people, aides, hangers on, sycophants, they play a big role.
Exactly.
They play a big role
role
in destroying leadership in our country. When they see that a leader likes to listen to only things palatable, oh, they will say, you are the best. You know, nobody comes close to you. You are too good. That's what he wants to hear, because they will first test him. Once they say certain things to him that appear like criticism, and they see his body language, they say, okay, since this is what you like to hear, we will just be telling you, you are the best. Nobody comes close to you. After God, it's you. So since that's what you like to hear, and that way you are destroying yourself incrementally. So we don't want to see that. Leaders must commit themselves to service. True. And people must be able to tell leaders. If you have a leader that no one can talk to, no one can get him to change a bad decision, it's a very irresponsible leader.
Now, the governor also talked about, now,
for the people in the states to own the infrastructure and treat it right, now that the governor has tried to, you know, refurbish it, how significant is this advice?
Yeah, quite significant. But then, before answering that question, I also want to say that the last administration introduced something they call Edo-Best. They pumped billions of nairas on consultancy and left the critical infrastructure. And that is why Okpebholo is able to use this, the renovation and furnishing of those classrooms as a low-hanging fruit. Because if they do best, which the last generation spent so much money, as a matter of fact, Lagos State went to Edo State, copied Edo Best, came to replicate it under Eco Excel in Lagos, and that transformed primary and junior secondary education in Lagos State, and it's still on. But in Edo, it's a different story. It's a different ball game. To the extent that I think Okpebholo should probe that Edo Best. Honestly, yeah, because if this is what we are seeing,
it as Edo worst.
Yes, honestly,
it looks that way.
See, so the woman, the chairperson who represented the governor in some of the visits to some of those schools, also said there is the need for parents, teachers, and even the pupils to own these projects so that there won't be vandalization.
Protect them.
Exactly.
Yeah, protect them so that there won't be vandalism. And also that all the schools that are being renovated will be fenced round to ensure that
security, to
secure those schools. And as we can see in the videos and pictures, which Jide was also part of, you could see that brand new furniture, as we can see, that are quite durable. You can see the windows.
See the board now.
See the boards. Look at and the windows. So these are windows that, I mean, it will take a very strong pulpit to break this one. I mean,
but anyway,
aluminium frame.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next